This is Shade from Misfitz, a mobile extraction game, and I know what you're thinking. She has a big gun, she has long range, and she even has this sniper hat. Surely she's a sniper. Wrong. For some context, let me break down her abilities. For her main attack, she has the longest range in the game actually. She shoots this one projectile that does a pretty big amount of damage. Her special ability or ultimate is this equally as long projectile that roots enemies in place when they hit the enemy. So is this not just a sniper? What's the issue here? Well, to help you understand, let's go through an actual loot run with Shade. Our goal is to collect these blue thingies called relics and extract with them to reclaim humanity from AI slop. As I see it, I have two options: killing bots for the loot that they guard, or attacking other players for the loot that they've taken from these bots. Let's try taking down those bots. As you can see, there is a small problem here. I have an abysmally slow reload speed, and I can only hit one bot at a time. There is this upgrade that lets you attack multiple bots at a time, but even then, the hitbox of your attack is so tiny that you can't hit all these bots at the same time, and they just kind of swarm you. Alright then, let's try fighting some players with Shade. After a while, this also reveals a huge problem. It is pretty hard to hit people from far away with your attacks. Her main attack's hitbox is super thin, making it really easy for enemies to dodge her bullets without even trying sometimes. I can't count the amount of times I've just sort of zigzagged my way up to my enemies because they're playing Shade and they just can't hit their attacks. In other games, snipers often have this trade-off of power because their long range and high damage need something to balance it out. This incredible strength is balanced out by maybe having a less defensive kit than the other characters in the game. Or maybe their mobility is on the lower end so they can't escape as many sketchy situations. But Shade's case is fairly unique because we can solve her weakness by playing her as a different class altogether. I present to you Assassin Shade. Now hear me out, this is the most optimal Shade playstyle. You do anything you can to rush enemies, get up close, maybe you use the speed boost to run up to them, or you hide in bushes. But either way, once you get up close, you mash that auto fire button and you deal over 4,000 damage in a fraction of a second. If this doesn't sound assassin-y enough, let's take a further look at Shade's kit. Shade actually has a decent amount of health despite her crazy range. In fact, she sits somewhere in the middle of all the Misfits. And she doesn't have a damage nerf depending on the range. Basically at all ranges, she does the same damage. The only difference when you're up close is that you can hit 100% of your shots all the time. And I want to revisit her ultimate, that thing that roots people in place. It has the same range as your main attack, right? And it's amazing if you can hit someone with it, because it roots them in place for 3 seconds, they can't dodge any of your attacks, while you can dodge all theirs. But it's also terrible if you miss it, because it gives your enemy this window of opportunity to rush you while you can't do much to fight back. So how do we hit this ultimate 100% of the time? That's right, Assassin Shade. Walk right up next to them and just mash that ultimate button. Pretty much what I'm trying to say here is that while Shade might seem like an assassin because of her art style, her long range, if you want to play her to her fullest potential, she definitely doesn't play like one. So what now? Am I just going to complain about her kit? Actually, that was going to be the whole video, but then I remembered I have to end this off in an interesting way. So I'll end this off by saying that the developers are reworking hero abilities, and Shade in particular is confirmed to be getting a rework to her ult. The developers are also adding POIs, these points of interest, that are basically alternative ways to get relics around the map. So instead of choosing between killing bots and killing players, maybe you can collect materials and give them to some NPC for relics. Or maybe you could do some difficult parkour, right? The possibilities are really endless here. I don't think Shade is overall a bad character per se. It's just that there's this one clearly superior way to play her, which is really niche and also really counterintuitive. It's definitely not what the developers intended when they first created Shade as a character. All we can really do now is wait for the developers to turn Shade into the proper sniper that she deserves to be. But for now, Assassin Shade montage. Boom.